Let's watch the lone shining liberal on Fox News The 5, Jessica Tarlov, absolutely shutting down Trump's lies over his trade war claims and even more broadly, the failures of his attempts in doing this. Hey you, yes, you, we now have a Substack website where you can help support the channel. For just $8 a month, you can get daily articles exposing the chaos in Trump's first 100 days, a weekly podcast, and other exclusive perks, all while helping the channel grow and defend democracy. This is something that's not just very important to me, but enables us to get our message out to the most amount of people while also being just a genuine passion that I would love to pursue. So for those who have been wondering how to support the channel, how to help us grow, you can sign up now at the first link in our description. Thank you, and let's get back to the video.
But he did show that there's a way to use deterrence as in a peace through strength sort of way, using economic and diplomatic means.
Sure, but I'm not exactly sure what he was accomplishing that's any different from what had already gone on. So according to the ICE statistics, 28,635 Colombians have left our country between 2021 and 2024. I don't see any reason besides a show of force that he wanted to switch to a military plane versus the charters they were already going in, and it's about 3 times more expensive. I think it can be up to $852,000 for a 12-hour flight, which is what it should be about to get it back there.
I just want to pause here to quickly interject. This is absolutely about show of force, about propaganda to his base that is foaming at the mouth for this kind of fascism. It's not just doing these Gestapo-like roundups with mass deportations, but to make sure they're done in a way that his far right-wing base can be pleased with, and that the pundits can have their headlines and clips to send out to the masses, which is fascistically. It's very militarily that he wants to carry this out without emotion or sympathy to these people, to their cultures, to the way they're ripping apart people's lives, harassing brown people. And if it's a couple US citizens in there that get victimized along the way, it's like the US veteran that we've already seen this happen to, then oh well, it's worth the price. The price for what, might you add? Well, literally nothing except ridding of the brown population, essentially, because these people commit less crimes, they pay massively into programs, they work at similar rates, but their existence is worth demonizing for political gain, so who cares about realities?
Also concerned about the signal that this sends to the world vis-a-vis our allies. So no one would dispute that Colombia has been a great ally to America. And when South American countries look around, and we should keep in mind, of course, that China is their #2 biggest trading partner. So are we pushing these countries into the arms of our enemies? If they look at how we're treating Panama, Colombia, Mexico, are they going to turn around and say, hey, I'd like to be aligned with you? I see Jesse and Janine are writing. They obviously have something
I would
to
like
say.
to write, but I'm holding my, I am not picking up my pen.
And this is something that happened in Trump's first term that we saw that Biden doesn't get enough credit for, in my opinion, for how well he turned around, because the way Trump likes to posture so hard causes us to lose positioning, not just with our allies, but just with everyone abroad, most of whom have China waiting in the window to take our place, especially our allies, right? We can also see this with things like the World Health Organization, where now China is the biggest funder, essentially primed to take it over, where then now not only are we ourselves losing position geopolitically, which is, again, what we leverage to get such good trade deals that causes the prices and the prosperity that we're used to as a country, but we're also allowing China to further gain on and overtake us in that position, where that also only further disadvantages us in allowing our adversary to have this kind of economic and geopolitical leverage over us.
What I think Trump wants to create with this is a fiction about what was going on under the Biden administration, like they never deported anybody. I woke up one day and I'm the first person to send a Colombian back. Now, I understand President Petro misplayed the hand on it, saying that they have to be returned with dignity. And he did offer his own plane. He said, I'll send the presidential plane to get them. And then online, there were all sorts of rumors that these people were shackled, et cetera. I have no idea the type of conditions within that military plane. But I do know that it's more expensive. I do know that we got out nearly 29,000 Colombians. And I do know that we are saying to our allies that we're going to start needless fights with you. There's nothing that we wanted from them any different than for them to continue accepting planes, which they had been under the Biden administration.
It was literally also Trump could go online and pretend that he has this massive win, as he knows he's not going to have many. And, you know, he's been getting drug over not raising grocery prices or ending Russia-Ukraine or all the things he promised he'd have by day one. So now he just needs to be able to say, well, see, I strung on Colombians into doing what I want. And his base would cheer on it because it's brown people. And, you know, they want to be able to say, oh, daddy is home and all this. But in reality, nothing has really changed. As Jessica is pointing out here, the numbers aren't even different. This was happening under Biden. Trump just wanted it to happen in a more expensive way so he could signal to his base that is foaming at the mouth to see fascism. But it does continue this pattern that it signals to the world on how Trump is looking to operate with them. And it's kind of this pettiness. Even when he's doing it with allies, it's going to be pettiness first, which again only weakens our position with them. Something we've decided we would focus on a lot since World War II. And why is that, might you ask, right? It's because before World War II, we tried this whole isolation strategy thing that Trump is touting so greatly, America first, and who cares about every other country. And it ended with Pearl Harbor and then us getting drug into a massive war where tons of Americans were forced to fight and die. The difference between the left and the right, essentially, when you look historically, is the right wants to justify the mistakes of the past so they can profit off of them again. And the left wants to learn about the mistakes of the past and amplify them so we make sure they never happen a second time.